Alright, welcome back to another league race. This time we're back with TTML for round number 8, I think, of Division 3 at the Italian Grand Prix. Now, I've had my beef with this in the past. I'd say within the last 2 games, I think I've really come around on this track. It's actually one of my better tracks. This might be my best track, now that we think about it. But, anyways, here's the setup. Going with 3-5 wings, I found a bit more time found, generally speaking, game with 3-5 wings. Second run in qualifying, went for a medium run first. I meant to do softer at the start, but oh well. Bit of a messy start to the lap. The back end wanted to get away there. Lost a good bit of time there, relatively speaking. But anyways, at the end of this lap, it was still good enough for an 18.7. I was like, wow, if we could clean up that first turn, we could really do a good lap. My PB was an 18.6. Again, I'm always aiming to get within 2 or 3 tenths of my PB on the actual day itself. That's all you can really ask for. And coming out of the first chicane here, you can see I'm nearly up by a tenth. Going up to about 700 or 800 of a second. So I was like, yeah, great. This is exactly what we need to do. This is exactly what we needed. And 20 under a sub 26 sector 1 is pretty good for me. But unfortunately, I took too much out of the chicane and invalidated the lap. And actually, it's a lap over. But it was good enough for 6th place in the end. So really happy with that. And that is the furthest I've qualified up in a long last time in an actual league race that wasn't performance league. So no matter how many races I've ever done, really, like when you're this high in qualifying, you're always quite nervous. But you see, actually, the selected strategy was the hards. I did catch on to this in the race, so fear not, we did catch on to that. So the strategy is soft to mediums. Add a bit of fuel, and away we go. Here we go then. 3, 4, 5 red lights. Are you excited? You should be, because I am, really, kind of. Away we go. My starts are never that great. This one actually was okay. I'll brake nice and gently into turn 1. There's always a crowd and traffic around here, so nice on the outside. We've understeering that second part of that chicane, but side by side with David here, and I want to be going full beans if possible, so going to try and use as much of my overtake and rich as possible. He's doing the same, so he's still right there side by side heading down towards the Del Rogge chicane. I go late on the brakes, leave the entry on the inside, entry on the outside as well. He's got space on the left hand side. I've got a car on my inside as well, so I'm just trying to hold the middle here basically and hope that he backs out at some stage now that the racing line will basically come back to me. And eventually, the inside line rather come back to me. Eventually we settle in, but I'm already out of DRS of the guys in front, so I've got some catching up to do already as we head towards end of try and get back within DRS before lap 3. So a lot of squabbling there, but we thankfully were able to hold on. Really already back within DRS of the guys in front, so that was good. But the reason why we're speeding up here is coming out of this corner, right out of ERS at the end of that lap, so that was actually costly. But I was just looking behind. I was like, I'm no real threat from behind. And I noticed David is closing, and but he's too far back. He can't make a move into turn 1 here. Makes contact, sends me all off across the chicane for a warning, and I'm just struggling to maintain control of the car after that upset. So I lost 2 positions. So I ended up reporting this after the race. I don't know how that will go, but I think he's not. I think I'm liable for the position loss on Nolan for failing to. I couldn't really control my car. But he's definitely liable for the position he gained on me, and I think he should have gave that. If this was a real life race, you give that position back. So we'll see what happens. Other people I've chatted to have had mixed feelings on it. I personally think he's liable for the position that he gained on me, because that move was never on. Without making contact, he was never going to get through there, and he was never liable for space. He didn't deserve any space whatsoever. So it was a half-hearted move. He should have backed out of it. I tried to have a go there on Nolan, but lacked the straight line speed. You can see where 3-5 wing, kind of the comparison, maybe against someone that's using 2-4. But lap 6 into lap 7, again, a much better run than these guys out of the Lesmos and out of Ascari. So I can use this momentum on the second DRS straight and heading down towards Parabolica as well to get our launch here. Again, much better runs. So always when you're behind, you're taking note of where you're quick, where you can kind of gain advantage, where you're kind of better than the car in front. And I identified that very early as on, where an area where I could easily get some cars. Lap number 8, again, I just lack the top end speed here, relatively speaking. And I didn't bother to use overtake down here. I just didn't think I would be able to. I didn't want to sacrifice a lot of ERS for a move I didn't think was going to happen. So I left it. But you can see kind of, I'm relatively happy with 3.5 wing, and I do it again. But you can see the issues, the trade-off that you have. Lap number 9, though. Again, much better run out of the second Lesmo. And I'm like, okay, this time I'm going to go for it. He's not got DRS to the cars in front. We're going to go for it this time. So a bit of a late move there, as I kind of to try to decipher where he was going to be going. But thankfully, we get the job done, and very nice. Not easy to go side-by-side racing through Ascari like that. But so hats off to Simply Superman there, because that was good racing. But obviously, not to humble brag, but obviously, it was good to go through side-by-side there and get that move done. Very satisfying, but a monumental cock-up. In all my practice sessions, I never actually got far enough in the race to actually get to the first round of stops. So I was going to pit in lap 10, but really I should have pitted in lap 9. But so a bunch of people undercut, and I'm like, shit, not good. So we'll see. I used a lot of fuel and ERS in that in lap, hoping that we would be okay, but we did lose the position to Funky Chicken, who was behind us. So Simply Superman pitted on hards. He may have had the same thing I did, but didn't catch the strategy. I did catch us during this first stint. I was like, oh, change that to mediums. But yeah, so it's weird why I can do that sometimes. It doesn't put you on the better strategy. You have to actually press X in the menu to actually do it. Lap 13, we're catching some of the guys here who are on medium tires, who started on mediums. Again, coming close to Funky Chicken here, but nothing I can really do into Ascari. But it's just kind of sitting back and just negotiating this part of the race safely and trying to keep within DRS of the guys in front. So speed is of the essence to try and get through this traffic as quickly as possible. Thankfully, around Italy, you can do so. So coming off of Ascari here, get a good launch. I'm like, ERS isn't too bad around here, thankfully. So I was like, right, time to make this move. And your hope with this is that these guys don't fight for the World Championship when they're on a different strategy, that they accept their own race and not wave you by, but also to not fight an always losing battle. So thankfully, we're still within DRS here. And next lap, Vlares then, same situation, same corner, same kind of approach. Just want to just get through. And thankfully, these guys didn't fight too hard for a position that they were always going to lose in the end. So again, the key is to try and get through this traffic without losing DRS. The guys in front, successful in that attempt. So happy days. That's all you can really ask for at that stage. Lap number 19. Steph, I was aware, was pretty close. And he got a really good run at Parabolic. I was like, right, well, he's going to get by with DRS. I'm actually not upset by this because he's got two penalties. So I got on the brakes nice and early into lean. He actually makes contact with Funky Chicken, and just that opportunity just allowed for me to go right back through. But I'd actually conceded that position. I was like, right, he can go on. He can chase Funky Chicken and the company in front. And he's got penalties. He's not going to escape 6 seconds. But his mistake there obviously cost him that position. So Kieran Chopper retired from the race. Unfortunate for him. He's actually running pretty close behind me, a few seconds behind. But the VSC is deployed. Good opportunity to. I didn't realize my overtake was on for a bit, but I did eventually turn that off. We were fine. Didn't save as much as I could have. But lap 24, right behind these guys still. And lap 24, I think it was Shawnee retired, and the safety car did indeed come out. Now, always at this part of the race, it's always a very quick safety car. So, and Jane got himself a drive-through penalty at this point as well. So, I knew a position was coming to me, and I knew some of the guys in front had penalties. That would bring them closer to me. So this is a perfect situation. Now, I was already looking at a P4 or P5 or P4 anyways, but this plays nicely into my hands even still. So a quick safety car, as you know, a safety car comes out of this phase of the race, you know, it is quite quick. So restart here is critical. What I didn't see until I watched Hero Jokin's race was that Steph got himself onto the grass and on his own. It seemed like his own error. So we're completely safe. But I have to say, even despite that, I completely nailed this restart. This is the best restart I've ever had for a safety car on this game by far. Now my wings kind of cost me here, but honestly, I didn't really care about making moves in front. I just wanted to protect myself from behind, and I did that with Steph getting the bad start. So, anyways, lap 27. Joe can actually caught up himself pretty quickly on the softs, but we're going to come across to finish this race, and we're going to move up into P3. Get in. Really, really great result. I drove a really good race. One warning that entire race, which was that contact with David, and I did report it only for the fact that he finished ahead of me, and I think he's liable for that position that I lost to him. I had got back within DRS range of the cars in front. With how difficult it is to pass here in the DRS train, I think I could have stayed in front of David there. I really do. And he got by me by way of hitting me off, not intentionally, of course, by contact, and I compromised my run out of turn 2. So that's why I reported it. So whether that turns into anything, we'll see. But worst case scenario, look, P3, really happy with that. That is probably my best track, and it certainly helps make up for the disappointing strategy and race that unfolded in Silverstone last week. But look at the consistency. Oh, you love it. I love it. I gasm over consistency like that. I'm just kidding. Kind of. Not really. Am I? I do love the consistency, though. Whatever. Forget it. Anyways, that's going to do it for this round of TTML Division 3. Round 8, I think. And the next track, if I can whiz it up, I actually forgot to look at this beforehand. The next track is the one, the only. Not season 4, season 3. Excuse me. The next round is
left.
the Singapore Grand Prix. A happy hunting ground, usually for me, but
Fucking hell.
it can be a difficult one to master at the same time. So it should be fun. Anyways, until next time.